I told you you were beautiful, would you date me on the regular? Tell me would you? Well, baby, I've been around the world, but I ain't seen myself another girl like you.
What's up? It's your girl Cheaves, and today we are hopping back into our fashion DIY bag, and we have a look inspired by Jayda Cheaves. I hope that's how you say her name, but we're gonna turn this into this using FashionNovaCurve pieces. If you would like to see how I created this look from scratch, just keep on watching. So first things first, I gotta show you the inspo look. So I'm just gonna go on Jayda's page so I can show you where I found the look and why I wanted to do it. So this look was simple and very cute, but I said, let me see if we can do this in a thicker style. I don't know where anything came from, and I didn't want to look it up. I just wanted to see if I could make it myself. So I did. So the shirt I'm going to cut into a crop jacket, and then I'm going to use the fabric that I'm cutting off from the shirt jacket to make my crosses, so it all kind of like blends in the outfit. And then because it's really just like a shirt jacket, I do want to add like the Sherpa type of material. I kind of want to add it to the whole thing because it's still winter, and I was thinking about making it detachable with using Velcro to kind of like just insert it and have it make it like more thick, because it's on the thinner side. I would say it's like a denim material, but not quite denim. Anyway, I think I want to add this material on the whole thing. We'll see when I get to creating it though, because I might just add it to the collar just to complete the look. But basically, this is going to be my look, but in tan, chocolates, beiges. I don't think I'm going to have a matching bag. I'll just probably have a brown bag to complete the look. But we'll see what type of fabric I have left. So right now I'm about to screenshot this and get my crosses so they're gonna be the same exact shape, and I'll have them, and it looks like there's a couple different sizes. Like these look a little bit smaller, these down here look a little bit bigger, and these look more medium. So I'm gonna get my different size crosses to be able to start that and trace it. So I'm just gonna use the iPad and screenshot and get them to the size I want, trace them, and then cut them out to use as stencils when I cut off the fabric on the jacket to make it crop. So here we go. So what I did to get the crosses so they would be the same style cross is I screenshotted the picture of Jayda, and then I cropped the image so I could blow it up on the iPad and make it easier to trace. At the end of creating this, I found that my crosses were actually too big. I could have made them smaller, but we'll just call it a design preference. But all I did was screenshot it, laid a piece of paper over it, and traced it with a pencil. And then I have my stencils in different sizes. And how I did that was just manipulate the size of the screenshot and trace them over and over. Here I'm just showing you the base look again. I will link all these items below. Everything is from FashionNovaCurve. So this is what we're starting with, and then I had to go to Target and Joann's to get a couple more things I needed for this project. I went aisle after aisle and I found it. All right, so now I'm gonna get this. This is a twin one. I think it's a twin extra long. Doesn't matter. It's for a jacket. It doesn't need to be that big. So we got another piece to the puzzle. Let's see if it all comes together. Oh, it's half off too. It's lit. Oh, just the fasteners. It's not lit. So anyway, we got the Velcro. I'm going with this one. It's a sticky. Ooh, my hand is ashy. But I'm gonna go with this one. I really want it like this color because it's more close to the jacket, so it will be less detectable when I take this fur out. But we're gonna go with white. I think that's gonna look better than black. So it comes in this pack and it has 5 yards, and I think that will be enough for my project. Let's hope it's enough for my project. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this. I know they probably have some type of coupon. I wish it was this, but yeah, so look at us making our way. I definitely thought this was for a pack. Nah, baby, it's by the yard. And this pack is $40. That's pretty much more than the outfit itself, so I can't even do that. How much is this? And like even these one little squares, $10. That's very upsetting. Like I have a whole jacket to do. See, DIYs be fun, but then They be trying to break your pockets. Nobody has time. I just want to be cute. I just want to be cute. And I don't want to have to spend $50,000 to do it. So now I really don't know what I want to do. I also saw this. It's the beige color. It's just thinner. I don't think it really will make a huge difference. And I think this is $4 a yard. And this is 10 yards. So basically the same for more. So I might end up getting this. We gonna see. All right, now back at the home front, we are now going to start our actual project. So I used a green marker because it was what was close to go ahead and mark where I wanted to cut the jacket. I tried it on to see exactly where I wanted it to stop. Made a mark, took it off, laid it flat, and then cut it straight across so it would stop where I wanted it to stop. The thing about eyeballing it, when you just like lay it out, sometimes with clothes, when you try to measure it in a 2D, when it needs to be measured in 3D, your measurements be off. So I just suggest trying it on, leaving a mark, and then going to a 2D space to cut it.
Taurus.
Y'all see how Taurus is just a menace and will not leave me alone? During this project, side story, she wanted to play around, jumped on my ring light cord, ring light fell, crashed to the ground, and I thought it was broke and I was going to lose my whole entire mind, which you will see in sped up fashion. But here I am just now cutting off the fabric, and then I'm just going to set that off to the side once I've got it across, cut it across. And this is the fabric I'll be using to make my crosses for my jeans. I'll be using this fabric. I didn't have to go purchase any fabric or try to color match. I just used what I already had from the outfit and repurposed it. So we got to do a little fitting to make sure it sits where it's supposed to sit. And it does. Do a little happy dance. Because, yeah. And then I wanted the ends of the jacket to be frayed. So I just opened up the scissors and kind of drug it across to have a frayed end. And now I am cutting out my stencils as you continue to see Taurus being a menace. Like Crash coming soon. And then once I had all my stencils cut, see, look, Taurus. I had to get in that tail. But once I cut all my stencils out, I went ahead and used that same green marker. I would definitely suggest using a pencil, something lighter that's not going to bleed through your fabric. I used a light hand so it didn't, but just as a precautionary tale, use something that's not going to bleed through your fabric. And I just cut out as many that I, pre-counted out, but it's also always a good idea to make extra. You never know, mess ups happen. It's good to have backups. So now I am prepping my fabric. I'm just cutting off the sewn end because I didn't want the lump anywhere in the jacket. So I went ahead and cut all that off. And then we move to the next day where we continue working. So now I have my jacket laid out and I'm basically using it as a stencil. And I'm going to lay the fabric over top and just cut around it so it mimics the same parts of the jacket, how it's constructed. So I started with the back and then I cut out fabric for both sleeves and eventually for the collar. As I worked through this project and actually finished it, the collar piece, which was really the most important part for the Sherpa detail, it was just not sitting right, so I ended up taking that off. So basically the jacket was just lined with this Sherpa fabric. And I love that it made it more full, definitely gave it more warmth, and made it a little bit bigger, more of a statement than just like a shacket shirt jacket because it was more on the thin side. I loved how it turned out, but I definitely would want to create a whole one inside lining piece. So you see how the fabric is laying over the arm? I would leave that instead of cutting around it and then take an additional piece of fabric and just kind of add it to that sleeve to finish it off, so that I could just have one continuous piece and then do the same thing for the other side. So when I made this inner lining detachable, the whole unit would come out instead of it having to come out as a back piece and two arm pieces. I hope that makes sense. So just a note, if you decide to make this yourself, please excuse my draws. I was in work mode and didn't even feel it out. So I have my back piece, and then now I'm going to go ahead and make the arm pieces. And I really just cut one and doubled it. And after I did that, I made my collar piece, which again, like I told you, I ended up not using. I put it on. I did all the work to put it on, but I did not like it. So yeah. And now here is when I am going to start attaching the Velcro and putting the fabric on the inside, I'm just measuring it out and kind of getting it placed down. So as I cut my Velcro out and measure it, I already know where my fabric is going to go. I'm not going to try to maneuver both pieces at the same time. I'm going to make sure my fabric is right and laid how I need it to be laid, lay my Velcro down, and then stick the fabric to the Velcro. Now that I've got my first piece of fabric laid out, I'm going to start working with my Velcro. So to start with the Velcro, I measure it out to see how much I need for a particular area of the jacket. I started with the bottom, then went to the top, then did the sides, and I just eyeballed it across, cut, because this has both the front and the back of the Velcro, and then I separated those and stuck them together to create one line of Velcro, one strip of Velcro. When I was putting the Velcro in the jacket, I was sure to put the softer side on the jacket, and the stretchy or the sticky, the pokey side would be the part that would stick onto the Sherpa material. I did it this way so that when I remove the lining, the softer part is what will hit my skin and not the sticky, prickly part. So now that I have one strip of Velcro, I'm going to move the Sherpa fabric up out of the way and then place the Velcro down on the shacket part. And again, remembering to make sure that the fuzzy part is what is going to stay on the jacket when I remove the Sherpa lining. So you want to make sure that that is facing up towards the sky. If you were looking at the two pieces, the fuzzy side will be up towards the sky. I took my time and worked across this Velcro strip to press it down firmly. And I will say this sticky back was awesome. It stayed put. And really, once it's down, it's down. So make sure your placement is where you really want it, because there's no coming up, honey. Once I got it to where I needed it, I took the other side off and laid the Sherpa fabric on and did the same thing, pressing it down firmly to make sure there was a secure hold. And I just repeated this step around the entire jacket as well as through the sleeve. Here is when I realized that I could have had such less struggle had I turned this jacket inside out from the beginning. So please don't be a goofy like me. Turn it inside out. Your time will have so much fewer struggles. So now I'm attaching the Sherpa fabric to the sleeves, and how I just picked placement was where I felt like my jacket would have the most movement, and that's where I attached the Velcro at. And as you can see, the jacket is looking more full and it definitely had more warmth. And I'm also attempting to put on the collar, but it was just not working like I did it. And it was okay, but it just took too much maneuvering. It didn't sit right. That would be something that would be on my nerves the entire time I wore it. So I ended up taking it off.
That someone else is there who can give guidance.
So once the jacket was complete, I went ahead to try it on. You can see the Sherpa collar. It does look really good, but it will not lay right. So kind of disappointing. And by the time I finished the pants, I was just over it and I didn't even want to troubleshoot it again. I might at some point, but I think the jacket looks cute without it. Another note when making this jacket or working with Sherpa fabric, a vacuum cleaner of some sorts is great, and I think that will also do really well, because once you cut the Sherpa and you pull off the excess fabric, you really don't get too much shedding. It's when you don't thoroughly do it is why I have these flyaways everywhere. But if you were to get like a little mini vacuum or the hose of your vacuum to vacuum it up, I think it would seal the deal. So now we're gonna move into the pants. So moving into the pants, I'm going to lay them out, and before I even do anything, worry about glue, adhesive, any of that, I'm just going to lay it out and position my crosses to where I think they should be, using Jayda's outfit again as reference for placement of my crosses as well. So here I am getting ready to start laying out my crosses with my varying sizes. I ended up only using the small and the medium. Both honestly were too big. I needed something smaller than my small. But it was still cute. It got the idea. It was the gist of the outfit. So I'm not upset about it. But designer note, if you decide to make it, make your crosses smaller. And another design note for anything dealing with pants, especially if you are a curvy girl or have a curvy body, is to wear your pants for a little bit so that it kind of mimics your shape. Yes, these are curved jeans. They're plus size jeans, so they do have a little bit, but it's good to have it form to your body. So then when you're laying out decals like this, you can position them correctly. You can make sure they're flowing the right way. As you can see, that cross was a little bit crooked, but because I've tried these pants on, as I stand back and look at them, how someone would look at me in my outfit, I can see that it's crooked because I put the pants on and they're kind of conform to my curves. So suggestion, wear them for a little bit. When I was trying them on, kind of see what I was going to do, that was the perfect time for me to just get those pants a little bit worn in. Now moving into how I adhered them. I used E6000 glue, and it was a special way that I did it because this fabric is so light. Like I gave the note earlier about using something that's not going to bleed through your fabric. Glue is the same way. So how I did this is I put a small amount of glue in the area that I was wanting to glue down of the cross, and then I use a super light hand to kind of sweep back and kind of massage around and not completely just flat out press it down, because that would cause the glue to seep through, as I will show you later, and it will cause dark marks and make the glue come to the surface of your cross, which is not what you wanted to do. E6000 is a great adhesive. It's like industrial strength, but it also is elastic, so it can seep into those fibers, and that's why I love it for like clothing DIYs, because it does seep into the fibers and it moves with you as your body moves in your clothing. But when you press it down on especially like a fabric this light color, it'll go through and you can see it. So be mindful, take your time, don't rush it. If you have a darker color fabric, it may not be as much of an issue, but with E6000 glue and glues in general, if it's a fabric, it can seep through and can distort, discolor whatever you're working with, dark or light. So just as a reference. As you can see here, you can see my hand technique, my motion, how I'm laying the glue on it, using a light hand to place it on and a light hand to press it down. Major keys. I repeated these steps on all the crosses. I kind of stayed away from putting glue directly on the edge because when I put these in the wash, I kind of want them to fray a little bit and curl a little bit just to give it a more distressed detail to match the jacket. But making sure to use a light hand when I'm pressing down on the crosses is the key. Just take your time and you'll be good to go. And I'll show you what happens when you don't. But right here, after I glue this cross down, is where I messed up. Sitting on it is what pressed the glue through the fabric. Let it dry. You got to let it dry on its own. Don't press it down. So this is what I mean by the glue seeping through the fabric. You see those little dark marks? If there was more glue, more of that would have seeped through and really would have changed the whole color of my cross. And then I'm going to also show you on another cross what it looks like when you don't press it down and let it dry on its own. As you can see, my cross is a single color. You don't have any dark marks or any splotches or any splashes. So it's very important to let it dry on its own and not press your product down when the glue is still wet. And this is just me working on the back. And once we finish that, our outfit is complete, girl. And here we have our finished look. I let the pants dry overnight and I put it on the next day, and I was so pleasantly happy with my final product. Like I said, our base outfit everything was from Fashion Nova. The jacket, the crop top, the jeans, and these shoes I have on here, all from FashionNovaCurve. And I love how I DIY'd, upstyled this. I think it's a really cute, thick, girl friendly outfit. I wanted to do a same fit done thick, and this is our outcome. I'm super proud of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more fashion DIYs from me, send me inspo on Instagram. I love to see, or I love to try to figure out how to create different things. I'm trying to tap back into this side of me. I haven't done it in a while. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you try it, definitely tag me in it so I can see you, girl. If you have not already, I would love if you subscribe to my channel. Slide over, hit the bell, hit all notifications so you're always notified when I have a brand new upload. Come join the Tan Band fam. But thank you guys so much again. I will see y'all in my next video. Stay true.